Oh, I guess I need my storybox. I got so excited about seeing you all, I forgot to bring it with me. So, I have a story to tell you this morning. And what I need you to do, if Madison, if you can that step is good, but just let me have this space to be able to lay the story around, and then we can all see it. And so, a lot of my stories start with this cloth. Yeah, you remember? Okay, yeah, this is the desert. This is the what's known in a lot of these stories as the Holy Land. This is the place where this guy named Jesus was born and lived and taught people about God and how important love was. And so this is one of those stories, and this is, oh, one foot's backwards. This is Jesus. And when this story begins, he was born in a small town, sort of like this one here, like Lake Country. He was born in a small place. And when he first started telling people and teaching people about God, he did that in little towns all around. He would walk for miles and miles and talk to people in these different towns. And so these people, these are little towns, yeah, very little. And so people would come and listen to him, and sometimes he would make them feel better. Sometimes he would heal them if they were sick. And they got really excited, and so as he moved to the next town, the word would spread, and people would already be waiting for him to arrive. He became kind of like a star, well, I hate to say Justin Bieber, because he's probably not a good example, but like someone who becomes famous. He became famous in these little towns. But when this story really begins, Jesus has spent a number of years going town to town, and he decides he's going to go to the big city. The big city. And the city's name was Jerusalem. Any of you heard of that city before? No. No. Have you heard of Vancouver? Yeah. Well, that's a big city. This is another big city called Jerusalem. And so he decided to go there and talk to the people there the way he'd been doing in the villages. Well, he is taller than the roof. Yeah. He was a big star. So, the problem was that in the city there were priests or ministers, people that were in the temple, in the church there, and they were worried about Jesus because they weren't sure that he was telling people the right things. And so they were not happy about him coming to this big city. And so they thought that they would try and catch him, have him say something that wasn't true. And the way that they kept everybody kind of in order was that they had rules that you had to follow. We all have rules, right? Mm-hmm. Well, in this city, they had this many rules. Mm-hmm. 600 rules that they had to obey. Rules on what they could eat, who they could talk to, who they couldn't talk to, rules on how to pray, rules on what they could sing, rules on where they could go, rules on what kind of work they could do, there were lots and lots of rules.
What to sing?
Yeah, everything. And so, to help people figure out all these rules, there were some other people besides the priests, and they were called scribes. And their job was to talk to people, and I'm going to get some people out here. Their job was to talk to people and help them to know when they were following the rules and when they were breaking the rules. That was their job. And it was hard work because there were so many rules. So, on this particular day, the priests came to Jesus, and he had all this crowd of people around him. He was teaching them about God and about how to get along with each other. And the priests were asking Jesus really hard questions about the laws, trying to find one that maybe he didn't know or that he answered the wrong way. But he always managed to answer the question. And the scribe was so impressed watching this that he finally went to Jesus and he said, "This is amazing. And I have one question that I want to ask because I can't seem to get an answer for it, and I think that you might be able to help me with it." And Jesus said, "So what's your question?" And the scribe said, "With all of these laws and rules, what is the most important one? What one is more important than anything else?" And Jesus said, "The most important rule is this. It's to love God with your heart, your soul, your mind, and your strength." And the scribe said, "Oh, well, yeah, that's what I say to people every day, to love God. That's great. That makes sense. It's the most important rule." But then she said, "Well, wait a minute. There's another part." And the scribe leaned in, and the people got closer because they wanted to hear what he was going to say. And even the priests got closer to hear what he was going to say. And Jesus said, "The other part is, you have to love everyone just the way you love yourself. You have to love everyone." Well, the scribe now knew what to tell the people. And he thought that Jesus was very wise. I wonder how Jesus felt being asked so many questions. Annoyed?
Happy?
Happy, maybe? Because he got them right?
Middle?
Middle, yeah. I wonder why Jesus said love was the most important rule. I wonder why.
Loving is being caring.
Loving is being caring, yeah. Yeah. I wonder if love is still the most important rule. Do you think so?
It is.
Yeah. Pretty important, isn't it? Hmm?
Probably for centuries.
For centuries, yeah. Yeah. Well, that's our story. And we're going to sing a song about love. And it'd be great if you could stay for a bit of it, and then you can head off to Children's Church. And I was in there. I'd like to be going there too.